Kevin Gordon here from AutoSavant.com with your August 15th edition of the Afternoon Commute. Programming notes, we just got done doing a quick video piece on the Lexus GS 350F Sport that our editor-in-chief Chris Hock is reviewing for the written portion of the site. So I'll have that up soon, tonight, maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Just really to give it a comparison to the all-wheel drive, more luxury-oriented model that we had before. So let's talk a little bit about Progressive Insurance Company. I wrote an article for the AutoSavant.com website about Progressive Snapshot. And it wasn't an editorial, it was just the facts. And really posted to our commenters about what they thought about it, their experiences, so on and so forth. It fell into sort of three camps. One was that it's a terrible big brother idea. The second, believe it or not, strangely, was about the fact that the thing that plugs into your OBD2 port ruined your car. And the third is that, I've used it, I've gotten good discounts, big brother nonsense is nonsense. Well, that became our most viewed article on the site, and also got the most comments in our history. Well, Progressive is back in the news because of a person with a bit of social media clout and an experience they had with the company. So a comedian based out of New York, his sister was killed in an automotive accident, and the accident supposedly happened when she was driving through a green light in her Honda Insight. Somebody ran a red light, crashed into her. She then was pushed into a pole and killed in the accident. So, unfortunate, but really, unfortunately, pretty common. Where things started to take a turn is because, the driver that ran the red light was at fault for the auto accident, so they would be responsible, their insurance would be responsible for paying out her death and dismemberment portion of her policy. Well, this person was underinsured, so it was carrying car insurance, but very minimal car insurance. So that policy, which was carried by Nationwide, wouldn't pay it out. Well, the driver of the Insight, Caitlin Fisher, I believe, goes by Katie, she had underinsured driver insurance. So that means that Progressive then there would be on the hook for paying out her death and dismembership portion of her policy. Well, Progressive didn't pay. And in Maryland, where this accident happened, you're not allowed to sue an insurance company directly. You have to go to court to prove fault before that can happen. So that's what they did. And here's where the story takes an even more unfortunate twist. The brother of Katie Fisher, I believe, said that a Progressive appointed attorney was standing at the defense's table. So Progressive was supposedly actually acting as an attorney for the defense, even though they represented the client who was doing the suing. Now, Progressive has come out and said, we're sorry and regretful for the loss of the family, and we did not act as an attorney. So it'll be interesting to see if this continues and follows up. Nevertheless, Progressive, who at one point was sort of the favorable insurance to the small guy and the person who couldn't get insurance, is quickly becoming the insurance company that is not looked at well. And to take a step away from this, it's sort of important to note that this type of thing with insurance companies happens all the time. It's just this caught some social media attention, and as a result has really become a much larger issue. I think my biggest problem with the whole thing is every time you hear anything about all this stuff, you have the stupid flow from the Progressive commercials, big dumb smiling face, tied to the whole thing. So we'll keep an eye on this, and if anything else interesting comes up, I'll bring it to you here on the afternoon commute. In other news, Nissan has supposedly confirmed, apologies for the random summer rain we're having now, Nissan has supposedly confirmed to Auto Express, one of their senior VPs was talking to them, and they've said that their NISMO line, or the performance line, may launch an RS variant to that, an even higher level performance line in the future. And the vice president went on to say that they want it to be a AMG-like equivalent for far less of the price. Well, that's a pretty lofty thing. He then unfortunately followed that up by saying that the NISMO line, they're looking to add 15% horsepower increases, but focus on aesthetics to call out their NISMO line. So that doesn't sound so good. 15% horsepower increases are great. 30 horsepower additional to a 200 horsepower car. But 15% horsepower increases does not an AMG competitor make. In other performance-related news, Automotive News is reporting that Hyundai is building a 3 Series competitor. They're at least looking at building a 3 Series competitor. This isn't slated until the 2015 model year, which is 2014 in Hyundai speak. But that, they've got the Genesis rear-wheel drive platform, and they're looking to build a smaller sedan to put on that platform. I, for one, and this is pretty easy stance to take, am all for this. I think Hyundai's got a strong engine lineup, both in turbocharged 4s and V6s, and they've got a pretty decent rear-wheel drive platform to build on. And knowing them, that their set of content and componentry to go along with this could really be a competitive and interesting thing if they twist it more towards the performance side of things. I have to say, if I was out shopping for cars, I would be looking for a smaller rear-wheel drive platform car, and I have no issue buying from the Koreans. And finally, as we talked about yesterday, the new Range Rover leaked out in images. Well, obviously Range Rover had enough of it just being a leak and spilled most of the beans about the upcoming, not 2014, but 2013 Range Rover. The big news is the fact that the new model is going to be 700 pounds lighter than the current one. That's huge weight savings. Should put it at about 5,100 pounds for their big SUV. That's a big difference from both performance and from a fuel economy perspective. It's slippery out. The other big change is that the rear seats are going to have 4.5 more inches of legroom compared to the outgoing model. And here's all of the high resolution images scrolling by. So there's the afternoon commute for the 15th of August. I'm Kevin Gordon from MotorSavant.com. I look forward to talking to you guys soon.